Abilio Dini Wikipedia. Abilio Dini was a Brazilian businessman. Abilio Dini was born December 28, 1936. He was the chairman of the board of directors of Peninsula Participações, chairman of the board of directors of BRF and member of the board of directors of both Carrefour Group and Carrefour Brazil. Through GPA, Dini became one of the wealthiest individuals in Brazil. In 2016, Forbes ranked him 477th richest person in the world and 14th in Brazil. In 2009, Epoca magazine named him one of the 100 most influential Brazilians of the year. He previously served as a partner of Companhia Brasileira de Distribuição, a distribution company which owns the brands Varejo Alimentar, Pão de Açúcar and Extra, wholesaler Açaí, and appliance company Ponto Frio. He was also a shareholder of Casas Bahia, through Globex/A. Early life and education. Dini was the first of the 6 children born to Florpes Pires and Valentim Dini. His father, Valentim, was born in 1913 in the countryside of Portugal, and immigrated to Brazil in November 1929. Dini studied at Anglo-Latino School and Mackenzie High School. He graduated in 1959 from the School of Business Administration of Fundação Getúlio Vargas. In 1965, Dini traveled to the United States to study marketing at Ohio University and economics at Columbia University, in New York. Career. Dini's father, Valentim Dini, founded the company Pão de Açúcar in September 1948. Abilio Dini began to work for his father at Doceria Pão de Açúcar at the age of 12. In April 1959, the same year he graduated from FGV in business administration, he partnered with his father to create the first Pão de Açúcar supermarket store, located on Brigadeiro Luiz Antonio Avenue, in São Paulo. In 1960, after the first store was established, Dini traveled for 4 months throughout Europe and the United States to observe the operation of the retail sector abroad. The second Pão de Açúcar location on Maria Antônia Street, downtown São Paulo, was established in 1963. 1 year later, Pão de Açúcar acquired Kiko and Tip Top supermarkets. During the 60s and 70s, Grupo Pão de Açúcar was the first supermarket chain to set up a store in a shopping mall, to have a 24-hour pharmacy, and to set up a data processing center. Dini studied the operations of Paris-based Carrefour in 1967 after Luis Carlos Bresser Pereira, who worked at Pão de Açúcar, introduced him to Carrefour co-founder Marcel Fournier. Dini was a co-founder of the Brazilian Association of Supermarkets in 1968. Inspired by the Carrefour hypermarket model, Dini founded Jumbo, the first hypermarket in Brazil, in Santo André in 1971. In 1976, he acquired Eletroradiobrás, the second largest chain of supermarkets and hypermarkets in Brazil at the time. The company consisted of 8 supermarkets, 26 hypermarkets, 16 stores, and a warehouse. In 1979, Dini moved away from Pão de Açúcar and became part of the National Monetary Council at the urging of the Minister of Planning, Mario Henrique Simonson. There, he coordinated the production of economic bulletins. In 1989, Valentim asked Dini to take over the leadership of Pão de Açúcar. Valentim remained part of the group's board of directors. In March 1990, the Collor government implemented an economic plan which put Pão de Açúcar on the verge of bankruptcy. Dini implemented the practice cut, concentrate and simplify and made cuts across the company. He sold the building which had served as the company's headquarters since 1986 in 1992. The company, which had 626 stores in 1985, was reduced to 262 stores by 1992. However, family conflicts threatened the company. In an agreement signed in November 1993, Dini was given the majority control of Grupo Pão de Açúcar. His parents received 36.5% of the company shares and his sister, Lucilia, held 12% of the company shares. Dini led Grupo Pão de Açúcar through an IPO in 1997 and it was listed on the New York Stock Exchange. It was the first 100% national-controlled company to conduct a global stock issue. In 1999, the French group Casino acquired 24.5% of the voting capital of the group for $854.500 million. In 2000, Diniz transitioned the company into Companhia Brasileira de Distribuição, which became one of the largest retail chains in the country. In 2005, Diniz sold a large stake to the French company Casino Group for an estimated $860 million and stepped down as CEO, but remained as chairman. In 2009, in one of the most expensive transactions of the Brazilian business history, Grupo Pão de Açúcar bought Casas Bahia from Samuel Klein, giving Abilio control of Pão de Açúcar, Casas Bahia, Ponto Frio, and Extra Hypermercados. In 2012, Casino Group took control of Grupo Pão de Açúcar and Diniz no longer had operational functions within the group but remained as chairman. In 2003, Diniz became a member of the Economic and Social Development Council, a group of civil representatives which advise the President of the Republic of Brazil. In 2006, Diniz founded Peninsula Participações, an investment company created to manage the assets of the Diniz family through private and liquid investments. He later became the chairman of the company's board of directors. In April 2013, Diniz was elected as chairman of BRF. He helped lead the company through a broad restructuring. The company's profit went from 700 million Brazilian reals in 2012 to 2.2 billion Brazilian reals in 2014. The company's market value went from 37 billion Brazilian reals to 55 billion Brazilian reals. In September 2013, Diniz signed an agreement with his partner Jean-Charles Nauri to leave Grupo Pão de Açúcar. His shares were converted into voting privileges, and he resigned from his position as chairman and the position was filled by Nauri. Diniz changed his focus to Peninsula Participações, which managed more than 10 billion reais in assets by 2014. In April 2015, Diniz announced he was wrapping up talks to raise his 5.07% stake in Carrefour and that he had shareholder support to take a seat on the board of the supermarket. Through Peninsula Participações, Diniz acquired 10% of the shares of Carrefour Brazil. Peninsula Participações continued to acquire shares of Carrefour, and by March 2016, it was the third largest global shareholder of the Carrefour chain. In 2017, it had 11.46% of the shares of Carrefour Brazil and 7.7% of Carrefour. Diniz serves on the group's board of directors. Thank you so much for watching this video and do not forget to like, share and subscribe. Have a great day.